1. Imagine your body as a huge warehouse. Every day, 3 times a day, massive delivery trucks arrive and unload new boxes. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. The shelves are already overflowing. Boxes are piling up in the aisles, and trash is stacking up in the corners. The warehouse manager is completely overwhelmed. There is absolutely no time to mop the floor or repair broken shelves because new goods keep arriving constantly. That is exactly what happens in your body when you are constantly eating. We live in a world that teaches us that hunger is an emergency. But what if I told you that closing the warehouse gates for 24 hours might be the best thing you can do for your health? That is OMAD, 1 meal a day. It is not about starving yourself. It is about closing the gates so the maintenance crew can finally begin cleaning. In this video, we will follow your body hour by hour on a fascinating journey of renewal. Let's start the clock. 2. We start the clock at the exact moment you put down your fork. In the first 4 hours after your meal, everything feels completely normal. Your stomach is busy. It breaks proteins into amino acids and turns carbohydrates into glucose, which is sugar. That sugar now floods into your bloodstream and gives you that familiar burst of energy. But now the most important player enters the stage: insulin. Imagine insulin as a strict bouncer standing at a one-way valve. When insulin levels are high, energy is forced into your cells. But the way back out? That door stays tightly locked. As long as insulin is circulating in your blood, your fat cells are like sealed vaults. It is biologically impossible during this phase to burn even a single gram of body fat. Your body refuses to touch its reserves when fresh supplies have just been delivered. Instead, insulin takes the excess sugar and stuffs it into your liver and muscles. We call this glycogen. Think of it like your wallet. Fast, easily accessible cash for the moment. You feel energized and secure, but in reality, you are simply living hand to mouth. The real treasures, your deep energy reserves, remain untouched behind locked doors during these first 4 hours. 3. We now reach the zone where most people give up. It is the late morning or afternoon after your last meal. The initial burst of energy has faded. Your blood sugar drops, and the silence inside the warehouse becomes unsettling. Right at this moment, an uncomfortable guest enters the stage. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone. It does not politely knock, it pounds against your forehead. Your stomach growls, your hands might begin to tremble slightly, and your patience with other people shrinks to almost nothing. Many people interpret these signals completely wrong. They think, my body is breaking down, I have no energy left, I need sugar immediately. But that is a monumental illusion. You are not starving. Your body is simply like a spoiled child that has been fed cheap candy for so long that it has forgotten how to open the heavy vault door to your fat reserves. Inside your liver, operations are in full swing. Since no new fuel is arriving from outside, your body now desperately reaches for the last bills in your wallet, the remaining glycogen. These are the final reserves of quickly available sugar. This is the psychological turning point. Your brain screams for help because it fears the transition to fat metabolism. But stay strong. The trembling and irritability are not signs of weakness, but the final protests of an old system before a new, much stronger one takes over. If you get through these 8 hours, you prove to your body that you are the boss of the house, not your hunger. 4. Congratulations. You have passed the critical 12-hour mark. The wallet is now completely empty. The glycogen is gone. At this moment, something magical happens in your biochemistry. Since no sugar is available anymore and insulin has dropped to its absolute lowest point, the body gives the command, open the vaults. A special enzyme called lipase now goes into action. It is the rightful key holder that finally unlocks the doors to your fat cells. For the first time in perhaps weeks, you are no longer feeding on what you ate yesterday, but on what you have been carrying with you for years. Your liver now begins converting these fat stores into ketones. And here lies the secret of your new superpower. Ketones are not just replacement energy. Think of the difference between cheap coal that produces lots of soot and smoke and highly refined rocket fuel. Glucose leaves behind metaphorical waste in your cells, which we call oxidative stress. Ketones, on the other hand, burn as cleanly as a diamond. Suddenly, the fog in your head disappears. That strange mental clarity many people describe around the 16th hour of fasting is no coincidence. Your brain loves ketones. You no longer feel sluggish or tired, but alert, focused, and strangely light. It is an evolutionary inheritance. Our ancestors needed to think most sharply when food was scarce in order to hunt successfully. You are no longer on the blood sugar roller coaster. You are in cruise control mode, stable, powerful, and brilliantly clear in mind. 5. We are now entering the most sacred phase of fasting. While you go about your daily life, something happens inside you that scientists call the holy grail of longevity, autophagy. Remember the overcrowded warehouse from the beginning? Since no new goods have been delivered for 16 hours, the warehouse manager uses the silence for a radical inventory. He is no longer just looking at the boxes, but at the structure itself. Your cells now begin inspecting themselves. They find old, defective proteins lying around like scrap in the aisles. They identify damaged mitochondria, the power plants of your cells that are now only smoking instead of producing energy. Even hidden viruses or bacteria are detected. Instead of simply leaving this waste lying around, your body does something brilliant. It recycles it. It breaks down the old structures and extracts fresh amino acids from them to create new, strong building blocks for your immune system and your skin. It is a biological rejuvenation program at the push of a button. You might now worry about your muscles. Does the body consume itself in this state of hunger? The answer is no, quite the opposite. Around the 20th hour, a miracle of evolution occurs. Your body releases massive amounts of human growth hormone, or HGH. This hormone acts like a protective steel shield around your muscle mass. It gives the organism a strict command: burn the fat, but do not touch the proteins in the muscles. We need this strength to survive. Through this mechanism, your body does not become weaker, but more efficient. You drop the excess weight while protecting the engine. This is the moment when true biological transformation takes place. 6. We made it. The clock strikes the 23rd hour. Your body is now in a state of peak metabolic efficiency. Your cells are like a bone-dry sponge, eager to absorb every single nutrient. But be careful, this is exactly where most people make the critical mistake. After such a profound renewal process, breaking the fast is not a simple snack. It is a ceremonial cornerstone. If you now reach for pizza, pasta, or sugary soda, you will slam your insulin levels upward like a sledgehammer. The result? A massive energy crash, inflammation, and the abrupt end of fat burning. When you eat, think about the biological hierarchy. First come the building blocks: high-quality protein like meat, eggs, or fish. Your body is craving amino acids to rebuild the structures that were broken down during autophagy. Next come healthy fats: avocado, olive oil, or nuts. They keep your metabolism in fat-burning mode and provide long-lasting satiety. Finally come the micronutrients, a mountain of colorful vegetables and fermented foods to refill your mineral stores. One final word of warning. OMAD is a powerful tool, but it is not a toy. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have suffered from eating disorders, or take medication for diabetes, this path is not suitable without medical supervision. Listen to your body. Fasting is not punishment, but a return to our original nature. It is the freedom of no longer being a slave to the next blood sugar spike. Try it, feel the clarity, and find your own rhythm. Your body will thank you. Until next time.